Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Rider. The Rider is a fascinating little indie just due to its backstory. This is the second film this year that I've seen in which we have people pretty much playing themselves. We have actors in the film that, guess what? Spoiler alert, they're not actually actors. And they are basically portraying retellings of events from their life. The first was the 1517 to Paris, in which, it didn't work out so well. So how does this film work out? Well, the short version, amazing. This is the most heartfelt, authentic, and real film I think I have seen thus far in 2018. I loved this movie. So let's go ahead and kick things off with the positives. I'm going to start the positive off with Chloe Zhao, who is our director here. And she does a phenomenal job with the direction of this film. It is beautiful. So this is definitely an indie. And some of the shots are very low lit. They're very dark. But overall, the cinematography in this thing is gorgeous. We have some amazing shots in this movie that could just be pictures, just still shots from here, could be artwork. They are so gorgeous. But furthermore, she structured this film so perfectly. Nothing really happens. There's a very loose narrative story structure about this guy rehabilitating and trying to get back into the rodeo, trying to get back on the horse. But really, this is a film about life. This is a film about so much more, and she lets everything breathe. She lets every scene take its time. She lets every emotion resonate before we move along, and it all just works perfectly. And she directed the actors of this film so well, because we've seen it. Just because you lived an experience doesn't mean you can relive it on film. Doesn't mean you can properly bring what you need to bring to translate that onto a filmed project. But these actors in this film were so good. Brady, our main character, was amazing. Like, he was so good in this role, and he was given a lot. There are some very hefty, heavy, emotional things he's asked to pull off here, and he pulls them off so well. He seems like somebody who's been doing this for some time. And he had very little bit of time to prepare for his role here, and it worked beautifully. But all the acting is very good, and since these are the real life people, this is like a real life family, real life friends, their chemistry just comes through. And it actually added to the authenticity of what it is that we're watching. Everything is real, everything is just genuine in this movie, and it comes across as such. And this film deals with so much. There are so many things that are taking place here. So it's loosely based off of real events that happened to Brady. But really, it's a fictional tale. This is a very fictionalized version of the events and the surrounding events. But this is a movie that tackles a lot, and it does it in a really great way, actually. The biggest theme here, the underlying message throughout the entire film, what we're really tackling is identity. And what it means to have to create a new identity. What it means to move on from an identity. And finding yourself. And what that looks like. And that heavily segues into depression. And how that manifests, and how that manifests within a super masculine culture. And we see that, and we deal with that. And there's this beautiful monologue about listening and being stubborn. And it gets brought back up of, well, what about Cowboyette? I heard it all. I heard all of those things. You tell me to be tough and buck up. What's different now? And that scene was fantastic. But it's about how depression just manifests itself in so many different ways. We see our main character lashing out and finding ways to reassert himself and to reassure himself and find himself again while he's just aimless and lost. And it was a really moving thing to see. And then this film also deals a lot with the community in which it's set in as well, and I thought that all just worked so fantastic. I loved the main character's relationship with his close horses in the film, as well as his little sister is just amazing. Like, I loved that relationship. Every time it was just the two of them interacting, it was beautiful. And then with his friend who also suffered an injury, when he goes to visit him, those scenes are amazing. Like, they are heartbreaking, they are heartwarming, they are just amazing to watch. And all of this just personifies the really great nature of the film itself. So if I were to go into negatives when it comes to the writer, I actually don't have many, and my negatives are kind of weird negatives because every film does have them. Every film has negatives, and this film is not perfect. The big negative for me is I struggle with the culture. This is on a personal level in which I don't understand the juxtaposition of caring for and loving and connecting with horses, but also whipping them and smacking them and training them to go out and be ridden in what seems like very violent manners for rodeo. So that juxtaposition automatically kind of puts me at an uphill battle with these type of films because I don't get it. I don't know how you can love these horses and then watch them buck up against metal for all this time and be ridden, and of course the whole putting down of horses and racing and in rodeos. It bothers me a little bit, and I struggle to connect in a sincere way to films that deal with it. And as I mentioned before, there were some problems with lighting and a couple of framework issues, especially when we're a little bit closer inside of the truck. That's a lot of where the lighting comes in as well. We use mostly natural light, it seems, here. And sometimes it's a little bit like, okay, I can't really see what's going on here. But really, these are kind of nitpicky problems because I thought this film was actually fantastic. I did relate to our characters. I did connect with his struggles beyond the horses themselves and training them, what he was going through as a person. And it was heartbreaking, it was heartwarming, it was a great experience, and this is actually a great film. So if by chance the writer is opening in a theater in your area, it is a small indie film, so check those little indie type theaters around you and go watch this film. There's so many beautiful shots and amazing cinematography that it warrants the theater experience, and this story will definitely hit you right in the heart. It will engage you, and it's a beautiful, beautiful film. So go watch it. Full price ticket for The Rider. So that is my review of The Rider. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Rider, or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!